Disasters don't arrive with a warning. They arrive in an instant. A sudden tremor, a flash of light, a storm on the horizon that defies all predictions. The climate shifts without mercy. Wars ignite in the blink of an eye. And diseases once contained emerge when the world least expects them. Survival is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of preparation. The ability to endure rests in your hands long before the emergency begins. This is a blueprint for survival, a guide to the essential items you must have ready in your home. From a lifeline in the dark to a shield against disease, these are the tools that may be all that stands between you and the chaos. The human body can endure weeks without food, but only days without water. It is the most common commodity on Earth, yet in a disaster, it becomes the rarest. The Federal Emergency Management Agency recommends stashing at least 1 gallon per person per day, for a minimum of 2 weeks. But a disaster's timeline is unknowable, so a month or more worth of water is a far more reliable safeguard against the unpredictable. However, not all water storage is equal. The convenience of commercially bottled water comes with hidden risks. Over time, and especially when exposed to heat or direct sunlight, the plastic can degrade, causing chemicals to leach into the water. While the long-term health effects of these compounds are still under investigation, their presence is a legitimate concern. A growing body of research also shows these bottles shed tiny particles, known as microplastics, which have been found by a study to be present in the hundreds of thousands in an average liter of bottled water. Furthermore, plastic is porous. Water can absorb the odors of nearby cleaners or gasoline, making it unpalatable even if it's technically safe. To stay on the safe side, you must store water securely. The most practical and common choice for bulk storage is food-grade plastic, specifically high-density polyethylene. Look for containers like stackable water bricks or 55-gallon blue barrels, and always ensure they are labeled food-grade or BPA-free. For an even more robust option, stainless steel containers are excellent. They are non-corrosive, durable, and will not impart any taste or support bacterial growth. But even with enough water, how will you know what's coming next when the entire grid collapses? When a power outage hits, television screens go black, the internet disconnects, and cellular networks are quickly overwhelmed or fail entirely. It's an instant isolation from the outside world. This is where a weather emergency radio becomes your lifeline. Recommended by both FEMA and Ready.gov, this device is a reliable, independent source of life-saving information that bypasses the fragility of modern systems. It provides a constant, 24/7 stream of broadcasts from the NOAA Weather Radio All Hazards Network. This includes not only weather forecasts, but also immediate warnings and watches for a wide range of emergencies. While a standard battery-powered model is effective, a hand-crank NOAA radio is the ultimate choice for true self-reliance. Its core is a simple but brilliant generator. By turning a crank, you convert mechanical energy into electrical energy, which is then stored in a built-in, rechargeable battery. A few minutes of cranking can provide power for an hour or more of operation. Many models also feature a solar charging panel and a backup battery compartment, guaranteeing you will never be left without a connection to the outside world. But with information secured, how will you navigate a world plunged into complete darkness? In a power outage, your phone's flashlight is a luxury you cannot afford to waste. You need dedicated, purpose-built light. The single most important light source to have is a headlamp. Its primary advantage is that it keeps both your hands completely free, an invaluable benefit during an emergency. It illuminates exactly where you're looking, making crucial tasks like performing first aid, fixing a fuse, or navigating a dark room much easier and safer. For illuminating a larger space, the lantern is essential. It provides a wide, 360-degree light source that can light up an entire room, creating a sense of normalcy and comfort. This helps reduce the disorientation and anxiety of a blackout, while a battery-powered LED lantern is the safest and most reliable option for indoor use. A fuel-based lantern can serve as a powerful outdoor backup. The third type, a solar-powered lantern, is a great option, but its effectiveness is entirely dependent on sunlight, and it may not be fully charged when you need it most. And finally, a classic handheld flashlight with a strong, focused beam serves a unique and vital purpose. It is ideal for a quick scan of a dark area, checking a noise outside, or inspecting for hazards like downed power lines from a safe distance. Many models also include an SOS mode for signaling help. Of course, none of these tools are useful without power. This is why you must not forget to stock a good quantity of extra batteries for your radio, lantern, and flashlights. They are the final essential component to keeping your lifeline connected. But even with a plan for power, light, and communication, what will you do when injuries and illness happen in a heartbeat? When help might be hours, even days away, your first aid kit becomes your frontline defense. Grounded in guidance from the American Red Cross and CDC, it is a lifeline in every sense. Don't worry about writing down all the items we mention. A complete list will be provided in the video description. Your kit should include 2 absorbent compress dressings for major wounds, 25 assorted adhesive bandages, and adhesive cloth tape to keep dressings secure. For sanitation, you'll need 5 antibiotic ointment packets and 5 antiseptic wipes to clean wounds when water is unavailable. The essentials also include 2 packets of aspirin, which can be life-saving during a suspected heart event, and an emergency blanket that retains up to 90% of body heat to prevent hypothermia. A breathing barrier with a one-way valve enables safe rescue breaths, and an instant cold compress offers quick relief from injuries. Rounding out the basics are 2 pairs of non-latex gloves, 2 hydrocortisone cream packets for bites and rashes, and various sizes of gauze and triangular bandages for versatile wound coverage. Tweezers and scissors are crucial tools for debris removal and clean cuts, and a non-mercury thermometer allows you to monitor for fever. Finally, a set of emergency first aid instructions will guide you under pressure. For more comprehensive readiness, experts at the Mayo Clinic recommend layering additional supplies. This includes over-the-counter medications like pain relievers, antihistamines, antacids, and anti-diarrhea meds. Also recommended are an eye wash or sterile saline and a pulse oximeter to spot low oxygen levels early. But medical care isn't the only concern, hygiene is too. When services halt, the risk of disease rises fast. That's why every kit needs to include sanitation essentials, such as dust masks to filter contaminated air, and moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties for personal cleanliness and safe waste disposal. Maintaining hygiene is the simple but profound shield no one should skip. And one final note on your kit: check it every 3 to 6 months. Replace expired medications, restock used items, and confirm that everything is functional. Because when help can't arrive on time, your first aid and sanitation kit becomes your own emergency clinic. But with your body protected, how will you manage the chaos and maintain control? In a survival scenario, it's the simplest tools that often make the difference between chaos and control. When disasters take down the grid, fresh food disappears, but canned food remains. To access this essential sustenance, you need a manual can opener. Government guidelines consistently list it as a must-have item for any emergency supply kit because it's the tool that bridges the gap between hunger and sustenance. But with food secured, what about safety from hidden dangers? In emergencies like earthquakes or floods, gas and water lines become immediate hazards. A wrench or pliers gives you the power to shut them off quickly, preventing leaks, fire, or contamination. This tool consistently appears on official emergency checklists, from ready.gov to the National Weather Service, because it gives you the reins to protect your home and family when systems fail. But even with the right tools, how will you find your way in a world without GPS? When the grid goes dark, GPS becomes useless, and your phone battery dies. Suddenly, printed local maps that once felt old-fashioned become the only reliable way to navigate back to safety. Listed as an essential by ready.gov, these maps can't be hacked, jammed, or drained of power. They are a reliable guide when roads become blocked or unsafe, and you should always include alternate routes. But knowing where to go isn't enough. You must also be able to prove who you are. Vital papers, IDs, insurance policies, medical prescriptions, and emergency contacts are your lifeline in disaster recovery. Store them in a waterproof, portable container so they're ready at a moment's notice. For a backup, emergency authorities also recommend keeping digital copies on a password-protected USB drive. In the chaos, clarity comes from knowing where you are and who you are. These simple items guide you through the unknown and into safety. But with all the gear to protect the body, what will you do to protect the mind? In a crisis, survival isn't just about food and water. It's about warmth, protection, and keeping your spirit strong enough to push through the worst days. Extra clothes and sturdy shoes may seem basic, but they can mean the difference between staying warm and falling ill during a cold night or an evacuation. Blankets help to retain crucial body heat, and sturdy shoes keep you mobile when the terrain becomes unpredictable. But survival is more than physical endurance. It's about staying calm when the world feels unsteady. Cash and small comfort items like books or card games may seem trivial, but they preserve dignity, restore routine, and ease the stress of long disruptions. And as recommended by healthychildren.org, games and small distractions provide crucial emotional relief, especially for children. Survival isn't only about staying alive, it's about staying human. The right gear protects your body, while these small comforts protect your mind. We cannot stop the disasters that come. We cannot control the sudden, chaotic events that turn our world upside down. But we can control our response to them. This simple act of readiness transforms us, turning a potential victim into a pillar of strength. You might be thinking, what about food? We haven't forgotten. That is a topic for another day, a different kind of battle with a different set of rules. Stay tuned, because in our next video, we will be discussing the essential food you need to store to endure a crisis. To be the first to know when that video is out, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Because in a world of uncertainty, being ready is the ultimate act of defiance.